once said, around here we don't look back very long. We keep moving forward, opening new doors, doing new things because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. Now, my idol Walt Disney said this and was often described as a man of inspiration. He was a highly emotional man with an energetic drive to change things. Today I'm going to be talking about scientists who are like him. These scientists are changing the face of our world with stem cells. Stem cells are very complex cells, and as well as a table topic for today. Before I tell you more about them, I'd like to tell you where it all started. Genetics was founded back when not many people had the awareness of it, by the name of a man called Gregor Mendel in 1873. He did work with pea plants and realized the resemblance between the pea plants and the people. Influencing him, Hugo de Vienne, Carl de Coras, and Erich von Strauch his rules to basic organisms. Difference between this is that many organisms were able to thrive. In the 1940s and 1953, the discovery of DNA in cells and cell subgenetics with now where we can engineer in genetics as we know it. Furthermore, the interest in genetic research, diagnosing, and treating has grown in enormous ways. But what are stem cells anyways? Stem cells are new, innovational, as some experts shriek, the salvation from deadly diseases. A stem cell is a type of cell that is categorized between three cells that I love to think as the three little pigs. The adult stem cell, the embryonic stem cell, and the induced pluripotent stem cell. Adult stem cells are also cells retrieved from adults. They can renew themselves into new cells, maintain and repair tissues they are found in, according to the National Institute of Health. Embryonic stem cells are cells that come from embryos or fertilized eggs. They're taken from embryos and placed in petri dishes. They have a tendency to reproduce over and over again, often used for research and experimentation. And finally, induced pluripotent cells, which are genetically reprogrammed and embryonic stem cells. So, in a quick summary, in less fancy words, these cells reproduce and replace cells within the body with ease. With this in mind, the world has already had many advancements with stem cells. Recently, NBC News announced successful Australian scientist Mariel A had with her team in Australia. They were able to make many livers out of stem cells. The kidneys are only half a centimeter and 1 centimeter wide, and scientists used the fibroblasts, aka skin cells, to make these kidney form. It's a bit like cooking. We spend a lot of time getting ingredients, right? Mariel A added. This is a huge step into the future, in a road of recreating human parts with stem cells. Not to add all though, this technology in many hands of people can be treated in a wrong way. But with the right people, we can do a lot of great things. But what if I told you 46 million people die each year from diseases like this? Cancer, diabetes, chronic lung diseases, and the need of body systems. These are society's worst enemies that we could help prevent. But the bitter truth is that stem cells are our salvation because we're facing an epidemic of genetic diseases that only stem cells seem to be helping. 25,000 Americans die each year from chronic liver disease, and at a point often overlooked that 30,000 people are being hospitalized each year due to the genetic diseases as reported by the University of St. Louis. But it's not just the lives we're losing, it's not just that, it's the people we are losing. As a child, I was always considered the escasy of my family, mainly because I was the youngest at the time. But it was probably because of another reason. You see, my grandmother died of cancer, and as soon as I was born, all of that sadness she had left behind turned somewhat into happiness, and for the longest time, I didn't understand why someone would be sad over someone's death. But soon after those kid eyes were replaced with the eyes that only faced reality, I realized that that is the reason why people are so sad about people dying and leaving people behind. Because the feelings we're facing are harder than what
is ethical or not ethical in this world. Can you imagine what it would be like if I were to grow up with my grandmother? If things were to change, this is what stem cells can do. But remember the tears we shed and the feelings we're losing. But most importantly, remember that you have the courage to change things. And you have the courage to make things better if it's your dream. And if you have the courage, think of the courage that stem cells are being able to help around the world. Think of the courage we'll be able to raise and help in the world. Because we can do this. And the future is now. And you just have to grasp onto it. It's going to be now or never.